crushing news to start this weekend of the Pittsburgh Pro. GoodVito is out.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
GoodVito Vitaly Golnikov making the announcement earlier this morning that he is withdrawing from the Pittsburgh Pro due to a back injury. I will bring up his full explanation in just a second, but this is a really, really crushing blow, not only obviously to GoodVito, who had real aspirations coming into the show, but for the Pittsburgh Pro. Obviously, this is the first time that they're having the open class, and you have a quasi-Olympia lineup with the likes of reigning Arnold Classic champion Derek Lunsford, 2023 Mr. Olympia, Nick Walker making I don't want to say comeback, but a resurgent Nick Walker, and obviously Martin Fitzwater, the world's number 4, entering into this competition. William Bonac, arguably the most decorated active veteran on the IFBB Pro circuit right now, and coming off his impressive win of the Detroit Pro. And then you have, obviously, Crizzo and all the fascination. We've seen his progress pictures, and, obviously we want to see what he's going to look like against some of the best in the world. But then you have GoodVito, who put on an absolute show at the Arnold South America, Brazil, winning that show, and not only winning that show, but really announcing himself as a real contender who can mix it up against some of the best in the world. And then, we see some of his, recent progress pictures. There was that one, I'm trying to find it right now, the one front double bicep that he put up. I have it right in front of me. Dave makes this look really easy when he toggles between screen and screen. But yeah, here's that front double bicep. This was from either last Thursday or Friday. But this was a warning shot right here. This is the kind of picture where all of a sudden you say to yourself, this guy could do some damage. And look, obviously it's no secret. We are privy to some update pictures that we're not going to post, obviously, on Instagram or on RX Muscle, the YouTube channel. And from what we have seen or had saw, GoodVito was on track to do some real damage in this lineup. Now, again, you see pictures of somebody standing on their own, and it's obviously not always indicative, but you get an idea of what they theoretically are going to bring to the stage. And you really wanted to see this all play out with him going up against the likes of a Derek, of a Nick, of a Martin, of a Bonac, of a Crizzo. And obviously that's not going to happen now. So the story is, and we got confirmation this morning from Chris Aceto, obviously GoodVito posting this in the morning. And then, it started to hit the news circuit, and it was really all over the place. Let me bring up the full statement from GoodVito himself. You see the translation: with great sadness, I announce I will not be participating due to a major back injury, muscle injury, suffered about a week ago. I did not report before, trying to alleviate the symptoms by preparing my body for the championship, following a strict routine. I mean, he goes on to say that it's not a major, it's a rupture, and it'll take about a month time of recovery. But in consulting with his coach, Chris Aceto, they decided that the better option would be to shut it down, to fully recover, and then to start to look ahead towards the Olympia. We're in May, so we're about 5 months from this time. Actually, 5 months this weekend on the dot from the Olympia. So that's where their focus is going to be. But it is a setback. This news obviously coming right before. Not again. There's nothing official tomorrow. Dave and I will be flying out to Pittsburgh tomorrow, and you're gonna have the athletes meetings. You're gonna have some other festivities, in and around town. But the actual show is on Saturday. The women's portion is on Sunday, and the expo, which again for the first time this year, they're gonna have a full-fledged expo as well. And from what I'm hearing, there are a lot of brands involved, and there are going to be a lot of top IFBB pros, major personalities. So this is going to be a big deal. This is going to be a really, really, we always talk about a show versus an event. This is going to be an event. I mean, we're talking about a quasi Olympia lineup in the open class and in the classic physique division. You're going to see Terrence Ruffin's first appearance back after taking the year off from the stage. You're going to see Carlos de Oliveira, Cake Pro, making his classic physique debut previously of men's physique. And from what everybody is saying that has seen him, they say this guy is on another level. Stan McQuay actually posted it on our post on our post from yesterday, where we posted the full lineup for the classic physique. And he said that, those in the know this guy is absolutely on another level. So it's going to be very exciting. And then, of course, you have Jose Manuel Munoz, Josema Beast, who placed sixth at the Classic Physique Olympia last year in his debut Olympia. So all these reasons for excitement in the Classic Physique, and obviously the above stated reasons for the excitement in the men's open class. First time the show is having a men's open class competition with a top prize of $100,000. But look, for GoodVito, obviously this hurts because this is his opportunity to really put himself out there against some of the best in the world. I mean, we're talking about a quasi-Olympia lineup that's missing who? That's missing, obviously, Mr. Olympia, Samson Dauda, Hadi Chupan. But, I mean, again, you're talking about the world's number 3 in Derek, the world's number 4 in Martin, and, a guy of, Andrew Jack, who, got his qualification at FIBO, and, presumably he's going to be shutting it down from now to the Olympia. So, but Nick Walker is someone that, yes, he's missed the last 2 Olympias, but, who knows? Had he competed, who knows where he could have, placed. Or 2 years ago where he suffered the injury, again, you go back to that prejudging and seeing how many of the competitors were off. Nick Walker, with a track record, generally never coming in off. Who knows where he may have placed in that lineup? And then last year, withdrawing. But again, you're talking about one of the elite bodybuilders in the world. So, would have been great to see GoodVito, throw his hat into that ring. And then for the show, obviously, you do lose one of your top competitors, but a not so great way to begin the Pittsburgh Pro weekend, which really has taken on a life of its own in terms of becoming instantly one of the top bodybuilding weekends of the year. I mean, you have the Olympia, you have the Arnold, you have the New York Pro, and now you've added this other show where here we go. I mean, this is going to now be one of the top events of the year, and this was set to be the big kickoff. But you know what? That's life. That's life in bodybuilding. And sometimes life, as in bodybuilding, is not necessarily going to be fair. So GoodVito is out. Dave Palumbo and myself will be in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Chris Aceto is already there prepping his athletes. And we will certainly catch up with him. And we're going to try to grab as many interviews as some of the top competitors from both men's open, from classic physique, from men's physique, whoever we run into. We're going to treat this show like we treat the Olympia, and we're going to have this thing covered for you wall to wall. So if you haven't already done so, subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you're not going to miss anything. And then, of course, follow us on Instagram, official_RX Muscle. That way, during the show, with all the pictures that we're going to be posting live of the athletes, and of course, anything and everyone that we bump into around Pittsburgh, we will have it for you on our feed, on our story, and then, of course, here on this channel. So, the Faruqi with an RX Muscle news update.